In this video, I'm going to show you how to install every piece of software that's going to be required to do the workshop. So first of all, we're going to install Visual Studio because we need C++ codes to be able to run CUDA, which is what you need to use your GPU when you do deep learning. So I'm going to directly look for Visual Studio. You should find this link. Then, so here it's in French, but you should have the exact same thing in English. And you have Visual Studio. And we want the community version because that's the free version and that's all we need. So you can directly go there and then you're going to download Visual Studio. So I'm not going to do it again because it's already installed on my computer, but basically when you install this, you're going to have the installer for Visual Studio. So you first run the installer and then you'll be able to install Visual Studio. What is the main thing you need to do is to use the community and then just click on the Python box to make sure that you have everything for Python. Now, when Visual Studio is installed, we're going to install Anaconda. So Anaconda is so let me just type in Anaconda, and then we can look for installation. If you install it on Windows, you can directly go there, and then you can download the Anaconda installer. So that should look like this. So Anaconda is great because it allows you to run different coding language together. So here we're going to use it just for Python, but you could also use it for other coding language. Great thing is that with Conda you can first download Python. You can create a virtual environment, which is really extremely important because you don't want to mess up your distribution. So you really need to do it the right way, which is to create a virtual environment, then activate this virtual environment, install everything that's required, and then you can run the codes. And whenever you just you quit, you can come back. You just need to activate your virtual environment and then run again the code, and that's going to work perfectly. So here you can just download it. I'm not going to download it because as for Visual Studio, it's already installed. But this is really easy. You just download it, and then you should get an installer. You install it, and then you'll be fine. And so when this is down, you can just open an Anaconda prompt. So I'm going to just try to open it. So if you go to if you open, so this is in different window, but when you type in Anaconda, you'll find something which is called Anaconda prompt. And so you can just open it. And this is what it looks like. So you see it's just written Anaconda prompt. And this is where I am on my computer. And so this is going to be ready. Now we can just start by creating the virtual environment. So let me show you. This is really easy. You just do Conda create a virtual environment. Then you need to have the option -y, -n, the name of your virtual environment. So we're gonna call it maybe workshop environment. And then we need to define the version of Python we want to use. And we want to use the 3.9 version. I'm just going to type in this, and then you can enter. It's asking you if you want. So you might have a question that's asking you need to just answer yes. Maybe it's because I already did it, but I don't have to do it again. But if you had this, just say yes, and then this workshop environment is created. So to activate it, I just need to do Conda activate, and the name of my environment, workshop all, and see it's activated because between parentheses at the beginning of the line you have workshop on. Before it was just base. So I activated my virtual environment, and now I need to install the packages I want to use. And to do that, we're just going to use pipe. So you can type in pipe install. And then maybe I'm going to first download the Github folder because there's a file which is entitled requirements.txt that contains all the packages we want to install. So I'm just going to go here. If you type in GitHub and then TPECOT, you find my GitHub account. You can go there. And so what we're going to use during the workshop is not there. You need to go in repositories. And it's called Deep Learning for Biologists from Classification to Segmentation. And so here, there are different ways to actually download all of this. You can do it via a Git command, or if you want to make it simple, you can just click on code and then download zip, and it's going to download the entire folder as a zipped folder. I'm going to put it in my downloading folder, and it's downloading. So it's going to take a little bit, maybe 1, 2. So I'm just going to speed up the video so you don't have to wait for the entire downloading time. And now if I open exploring folder, this zip folder, I'm going to unzip it. Put it directly on my desktop. So if I go there in local, I have all the different things we're going to do. So image classification, and then using UNet for tissue segmentation and segmentation and statist. If I go back here, I have 2 requirements text files. So we'll see so actually when we train so models, we want to use them in Fiji. We need this version because it's based on TensorFlow 1, but for everything else, we're going to use TensorFlow 2. So if you open requirement text, get this file, which is, let me just resize it. Yeah, there we go. So you see here, we actually have everything. So the creation of a virtual environment, which is called DLR in that case. So we use workshop on. And now here we have all the different packages we're going to need. Workshop, so you can just do a copy and paste, Control C, and then you're going to terminal, Control V, and you see that's all the packages, and you can just type in enter, and it's going to download everything and then install them. So it doesn't. So in your case, it's probably going to download more things here. It's because with other virtual environments, I already downloaded some of them. So now it's installing. It's going to take a little bit of time, maybe about a minute or 2. So I'm going to speed up the video so you don't have to wait for it to be done. All right, it's down. So now everything is installed. The last thing we need to do is to install CUDA Toolkit So we can use CUDA, and with Conda it's a very nice feature, this CUDA toolkit. If you don't use Conda, you need to install them through libraries that you download from NVIDIA website, which is not very difficult, but it's a bit of a pain. Here it's really easy. You just type in Conda install and CUDA toolkit, and it's gonna look for the right version of the libraries depending on the Python packages that were installed. So here it's asking you if you want to install them here, so you just say yes, it's fine. And the last thing is to install a CUDA, which is also required when you want to use CUDA. So you do conda install CUDA, okay, say yes, and now you're done. Everything is installed, so you can now use notebooks to run